Well, hello there. Glad you could join us, because today we're diving into a topic that's guaranteed to make your jaw drop and your wallet tremble just a little. Let's talk about money, specifically a jaw-dropping amount of it. Not the kind you find in your couch cushions, but the kind that could buy a small country or fund a moon mission. On January 7, 2026, President Donald Trump unveiled a military budget proposal for 2027 that's so massive it almost looks like a typo. $1.5 trillion. Yes, you heard that right. That's not a misprint or a misplaced decimal. That's a 1, a 5, and 11 zeros. It's the kind of number that makes accountants sweat and calculators beg for mercy. This isn't just another budget bump. It's a seismic shift in national priorities. We're talking about a leap so big, it could rewrite the playbook for how America spends its money. The announcement sent shockwaves through Washington, Wall Street, and anyone with a calculator. Politicians scrambled for statements, investors checked their portfolios, and everyday Americans wondered what this meant for their future. Trump's plan promises more firepower, more debt, and, bizarrely, dividend checks for some Americans. It's a mix of military might, financial risk, and a dash of unexpected generosity. This proposal isn't about minor adjustments. It's about making the Pentagon's budget a behemoth that overshadows everything else. It's a move that could reshape the entire landscape of federal spending. It raises big questions. What do we value as a nation? How do we pay for this unprecedented spending? And what are the ripple effects for our economy, our debt, and America's role on the world stage? So, let's put on our safety goggles and dissect this financial leviathan. We'll break down where the money's going, who stands to gain, and who might be left footing the bill. Buckle up. This is going to be a wild and very expensive ride. Whether you're a policy wonk, a taxpayer, or just someone who likes a good financial thriller, you won't want to miss what comes next. To truly grasp the scale of what's being proposed, let's break down the numbers and put them into perspective. These aren't just abstract figures. They represent real choices, priorities, and consequences for the country. For 2026, Congress has already approved a staggering $901 billion military budget. That's not just a big number. It's already more than the combined military spending of the next 10 countries in the world, including China, Russia, and several major European powers. But former President Trump is pushing for an even more dramatic leap, a $1.5 trillion military budget for 2027. That's an increase of nearly $600 billion in just a single year, an amount that dwarfs the entire annual budgets of most nations. We're talking about a 66% increase. This isn't just a step up, it's more like leaping off a financial cliff. The scale of this jump is almost unprecedented in U.S. history. Imagine if your rent or mortgage payment suddenly went up by 2/3 overnight. For most Americans, that would be unthinkable. Yet that's the kind of shock we're talking about for the federal budget. And this isn't just about buying a few more tanks or planes. It's about a sweeping overhaul and expansion of the entire U.S. military. New bases, advanced technology, more personnel, and a bigger global footprint. The context here is crucial. This proposal comes on the heels of assertive military actions, talk of acquiring Greenland, and a renewed focus on projecting American power abroad. The budget is being pitched as the fuel for a more muscular, interventionist foreign policy, one that aims to reshape America's role on the world stage. $1.5 trillion isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. It's a powerful signal that the administration sees military might as the primary answer to both global threats and domestic challenges. This is about more than just defense. It's about funding a level of military dominance and global reach that the world has never seen before, with implications for everything from diplomacy to the economy. The real question is, what kind of country and what kind of world does this level of spending create? How does it affect ordinary Americans, and what does it mean for our future? Can we afford it, and should we? The stakes are enormous. Let's dig deeper and see what's really at play. Where's the money coming from? Trump claims it's simple: tariffs on imported goods. He promises these tariffs will fund the military, reduce the national debt, and send dividend checks to moderate-income Americans. It's a 3-for-1 deal that sounds more like a late-night infomercial than economic policy. The pitch tariffs are a magic money tree, funding everything without paying for taxpayers. But this entire plan hinges on the idea that tariffs can generate an unprecedented river of cash, a claim economists are about to shred. So, what do the experts say? Extreme skepticism. Economists, policy analysts, and budget watchdogs from across the political spectrum have all weighed in, and their verdict is nearly unanimous. The numbers just don't add up. When you look past the headlines and dig into the details, the math behind these claims starts to unravel quickly. The Bipartisan Policy Center found that tariffs raised $288 billion in 2025, less than half of Trump's $600 billion projection. That's a massive shortfall, and it's not just a rounding error. Even if you stretch the numbers with optimistic assumptions, you still fall far short of the promised windfall. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimates the plan would add $5.8 trillion to the national debt by 2035. That's not just a minor increase, it's a staggering amount that would put even more pressure on future budgets, taxpayers, and the overall economy. Even under the most optimistic scenarios, tariffs would cover only about half the proposed military budget. That leaves a huge gap, not just for defense spending, but also for any talk of reducing the national debt or sending out dividend checks to Americans. The numbers simply don't stretch that far. The rest would have to be borrowed, contradicting Trump's claim of a fully funded plan. Instead of paying for new programs, the government would be forced to take on even more debt, passing the bill to future generations. It's like promising to buy a Ferrari, pay off your mortgage, and give your friends an allowance, all with spare change. The promises sound great, but the resources just aren't there to back them up. The math simply doesn't work. No matter how you crunch the numbers, the gap between what's promised and what's possible is just too wide to ignore. Instead of a self-funding plan, what we're really looking at is a debt-fueled spending spree. The government would be spending money it doesn't have, hoping that no one notices the growing pile of IOUs. Experts agree, this isn't a serious fiscal proposal. It's a political statement built on numbers that don't add up, designed more for applause lines than for actual budgeting. The foundation is sand, not stone. When you build a plan on shaky math, it's only a matter of time before the whole thing collapses. How radical is this increase? Let's look at history. The last time military spending jumped this much was 1951 during the Korean War, a true national crisis. Even Reagan's Cold War buildup saw increases of 20–25% per year, dwarfed by Trump's proposed 66%. This is a wartime-level surge in a time of peace, with no new existential threat to justify it. Past buildups responded to clear adversaries. Today, the rationale is far less defined. This isn't just bigger than Reagan, it's a break with decades of defense budgeting logic. The goal, military supremacy, so absolute it changes the global balance of power. There's no modern precedent for a move like this. While economists panicked, defense investors celebrated. After Trump's announcement, defense contractor stocks soared. Lockheed Martin jumped 6.2%, General Dynamics 4.4%, RTX 3.5%, billions in market value created overnight. For these companies, a $600 billion budget boost is a gold rush. The market isn't worried about debt or feasibility, it sees profit. The surge shows how government policy can instantly enrich the military-industrial complex. The biggest winners? Shareholders and executives at America's largest arms makers. Even before Congress acts, the financial markets have picked their champions. For Wall Street, this proposal is a cause for celebration. The debate over feasibility is just noise. The money is already talking. The defense industry is ready for a windfall. But a president can't just conjure a $1.5 trillion budget. Congress holds the purse strings. With razor-thin Republican majorities in both chambers, every vote counts. The proposal faces fierce opposition from Democrats and skepticism from fiscal conservatives. The real battle will be within the Republican Party, defense hawks versus debt hawks. The budget will be dissected, debated, and used as a bargaining chip in countless negotiations. Passing something this massive with such a fragile majority will require near-perfect party discipline. The journey from Truth Social Post to law will be long and brutal. In a twist, Trump also scolded defense companies for slow weapons production, even as their stocks soared. He threatened to block them from paying dividends or buying back stock if they don't speed up. That's a big deal. These are core ways companies reward investors. The message: we'll give you billions, but expect results now. It's a carrot and stick approach, pressuring the industry to ramp up output. The relationship is tense, massive money on the table, but with strings attached. So, what's the bottom line? Trump's $1.5 trillion military budget is a historic, unprecedented leap. Bigger than Korea, bigger than Reagan. He claims tariffs will pay for it, reduce debt, and fund dividend checks, but experts say the math is pure fantasy. The plan would add nearly $6 trillion to the national debt, even as defense stocks soar. Congress is deeply divided, and passage is far from certain. This proposal is less a practical budget than a neon sign of the administration's priorities: overwhelming military force, magical funding, and a huge payday for defense contractors. It's a bold, risky, and expensive gamble that will define the political debate for years. And in the end, it's the taxpayer who will foot the bill.